welcome back to my channel. It's been forever, I know. I'm sorry. My business is also getting a huge update and reboot, and we'll probably have a separate website from the Etsy page and the Facebook page in the next month and a half or so. So I've been very, very busy. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about Lammas for the busy witch or even the solitary witch. I have a full video that was made prior that I will link below that has a lot more information, some background, and a bunch of ideas of what to do. But this is for people that might not have as much time as they would like to put forth into their spirituality. So first idea is on July 31st, because again, if you go back to my original one, it could be celebrate July 31st, August 1st, August 2nd, or all three. So on July 31st, that morning, put out crystals that may need to be charged, crystals that may be new, ones that might have been sitting around for a while, ones that you want to use in whatever rituals coming up for Lammas, or even new moons or full moons or other rituals that you're on, ones that you know are going to be of important use for you. Put out into the sunlight to absorb the warmth from the sun and gain some vitality, and let it radiate throughout the day. Some crystals such as amethyst and some more of the softer ones, it is a little more difficult and not as safe, but you can leave them out for a short period of time, just not the whole day. Amethyst, though, can go either way. It can go either be very beneficial, because I put them in my fairy garden on my balcony, for example, and they last there all summer. But some amethyst, depending on the texture, like if it's raw, if it's been tumbled, etc., it is not always the best for long. Another idea is lighting candles. So it is a festival of lights as well as a harvest. So lighting candles throughout July 31st to August 2nd, or whichever day you might choose. For example, because of my schedule, I'm just taking off the 1st, and I'm going to be doing all my celebration that day, but I will be charging the day before. So throughout the 1st, for example, I will be lighting candles in the colors of, yellow, blue, orange, red, very vibrant ones that help with like new beginnings and bringing positive energy towards your way. You can just choose any color, whatever's calling to you. For example, if you really want to increase love, marriage, all that kind of stuff, this would also definitely be an option by lighting a bunch of pink or red candles throughout the day. Another thing is, if you're doing any type of just basic ritual just to be able to celebrate and reconnect with your faith or spirituality, we use crystals such as citrine, aventurine, agate, specifically moss agate, obsidian, topaz, carnelians, moonstone, things like that. You can create a crystal grid, you can meditate, you can create your own ritual, you can just put them on your main altar as you do your actual Lammas ritual. So those are some main crystals that can be used. Of course, there's the old celebration of baking bread and then breaking it by sharing it with others. We know that Mabon is basically the witch's Thanksgiving, but this again still is the first harvest, and it was part of tradition to bake bread out of your first harvested crops of wheats and other materials that you want to use for spices. So making a bread, and whether you have a coven or you're just a busy or solitary witch, you want to bake bread and maybe do it the night before, or that's what you do during the day as your ritual. Especially for hedge witches, that would work too. You're still putting out the energy that you're focusing and recognizing this day as an important day. So just baking the bread and breaking it with loved ones. So like even just your immediate family, if you have children, husband, fiance, wife, whatever you may have, celebrate it with them, share the bread. Also cook other things that you may have harvested. And if you yourself don't have a garden, going to a farmer's market or a local natural market that will have fresh harvested food of this time period. So not things that would be coming from a full another country or other part of the world. Well, it would be another country, but I was thinking, or the state or different states that might be in a different seasonal aspect than you at this time. No, you want things that would be local. Another thing, of course, is putting together your altar. So this is the important one. Having flowers, especially that are very warm colors, having, again, the candles of those same shades, having representations to the god and goddess, but there's also numerous goddesses and other correspondences that are very important that can be put on the altar, which I'll get to in a second. But try and use for like your altar cloths, like a gold, a yellow, a deep orange. Maybe try and mix all those colors together. So we're beginning the harvest, but we're not fully getting away from the summer bright shades. So it's a mix of what you'd see in Mabon as well as what you'd see at summer solstice kind of coming together. You can also just harvesting, like if you have your own garden, that can be your ritual in itself. Well, grounding yourself and connecting to the earth, and maybe putting some crystals into your garden for the next part of the harvest, because remember there's 2 more harvest related Sabbats coming up, so it's just the beginning. Also, once you've harvested, if you need to plant new things, this is the time to restart the planting. So these are all small things for like the busy witch. Like I said, if you want more in-depth ideas of how to fully celebrate this Sabbat, I have a video linked below. Corn dollies are another thing that can be made or bought locally. They've been used in tradition for Lammas as well as other Sabbats relating to the harvest season. Goddesses that, going back to the altar, that you may want to put your focus on are like Demeter, Gaia, a lot of the earth goddesses. So you're giving a lot of gratitude for the harvest and for everything that we're given. So for celebrating the goddess, you would be using more reds and more of the dark oranges for celebrating them as the goddess, the mother, the harvester, the one that helps us to have our harvest. If you are including the god into your altar and your celebration, use more of the golds and the yellows, maybe even some greens or blues, because again, we're not fully getting away from that color and the flowers and everything that we've seen in the past couple Sabbats. Going for a walk, reconnecting with nature, whether it's going to the lake or just being in woods, is going to be good too, because you're reconnecting with nature. It is about the first harvest, but it's also still celebrating the sun god and putting them together and just being able to rejuvenate yourself. This is a time also for you to reap some of the benefits of the seeds for your own self-growth and manifestation work that you planted a couple Sabbats ago. Now is when we're first starting to see some of the harvesting of those spells and manifestations and self-growth. So going out and reconnecting, meditating, I mentioned before, is really good too. So even if you take 30 minutes to meditate around some plants, outside, taking a break from your busy life to just reground along with some of those crystals, maybe a meditation that's related to one of the goddesses that I mentioned for your altar, maybe even a meditation of gratitude, just a spiritual journey to be able to see where you're at with reaping the benefits of what you planted for yourself during this wheel of the year. So basically, what you want to do is find some type of activity that will still be celebrating and giving thanks to the sun god who has put their energy towards the growth of these seeds and these plants that Mother Earth is helping to basically baby and help grow and raise. So they're working together, and now we're starting to get the benefits. So offerings would be even leaves or seeds that are left over from some plants that may be harvested, specific herbs that might be getting harvested right now, such as like sage, rosemary, people could start being lemongrass, bergamot, whatever you might be harvesting, even your flowers, if you're starting to cut some roses and stuff like that. Those are all very beneficial. This is also another Sabbath that is good for hand fasting, fertility, etc. So the roses would be beneficial too for any type of magic related to that. So if you are lucky enough and you have the time to do a full ritual, you have your ideas for what to put on your altar. A lot that you're going to be finding out into nature right now. What is being harvested, corn dollies, etc. And again, you can find more in the other video. This is more of just for quick ideas, like when you're on the go. But if you do have a ritual, you have everything needed, and then you just go about, and you can look at the other video for more intensive ideas, but this was just for people on the go. For a lot of busy witches or solitary Wiccans, witches, whatever your label, if you don't like label, is really just taking some time to just ground while cooking and taking that time away from their busy lives and making breads, making the potatoes and the corn, and maybe putting aside some snap peas, whatever they might be harvesting, and then having a candle meal with their family, giving thanks to the goddess and God, and having that offering bowl of flowers and leaves and, you know, some vegetables or fruits from your area that you may have harvested. So those are my ideas for the busy witch, the witch on the go, the solitary witch. At the end of the day, just taking some time, even if it's just reading or just journaling, to see where you are at with the work you're trying to do during this wheel of the year is great. Getting in touch with your inner goddess or God or whatever you want to refer to is a good thing too. And just having candles lit all day and having fresh flowers and plants and herbs that were just harvested around you, vegetables, fruit, etc. So if you have any questions, you can of course leave them below. I will be doing videos more often, especially starting in August. They will probably go back to being weekly, and I have a bunch of ideas. So, and I'll have more energy. I won't be so if you like this video, please like it. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Please check out the more informative video on the Sabbath that is linked below. And hopefully for all you people on the go that are very busy, you got some ideas of small things to do. even cooking with your kids if you're somebody that is a pagan parent. So, all right. Love you all and blessed be.